Chester, England is the largest city in the Shropshire-Union Canal network. The first moorings we passed entering the city were short-term, just for grocery shopping at Waitrose. But right near the center of town, we found a great 48-hour free spot. We'd seen unripe blackberries since before we started on the canals. Checking every few days, always disappointed. Finally, we found some ripe ones in Chester that hadn't been picked yet. The recorded history of Chester goes back to the 1st century CE, when Romans built a fort overlooking the River Dee that they called Deva, a Romanization of the Celtic name for the river, Afandivita. It was expanded to become one of the largest settlements in all of Roman Britain. Abandoned by Rome, along with all of Britannia in the early 5th century, Chester was built on top of its ruins. In the 1770s, the Shropshire-Union Canal was cut along the north side of the Roman walls, which formed the base of the medieval city walls. The Normans built most of the modern city walls in the 11th and 12th centuries, and they were used for defensive purposes through the English Civil War in 17th century. After that, they were opened as a public promenade. During the English Civil War, Chester was loyal to King Charles I, who watched from this tower as his forces were being defeated. Inside the walls, 16th century Tudor buildings dominate Chester. The medieval Chester Cross sits at the center of Roman Deva, and the Victorian clock was placed atop the Roman East Gate in 1897. The Gothic Chester Cathedral was built over a period of nearly 600 years. Originally a Benedictine abbey, it became the designated cathedral in 1541 by order of King Henry VIII. Cafe 1092 commemorates the year construction began on the abbey. Chester's train station is a 5-minute walk north of the canal. About an hour away, Conwy station is very small, so small that only half of our train fit on the platform and we had to switch cars along the way to get down. It was a beautiful stroll through medieval central Conwy, with Tudor buildings and several nice restaurants down the town's high street. But it's Conwy Marina and Quay on the River Conwy that's the real heart of the town, where you can pay to tour the smallest house in Britain, or buy some of Conwy's famous mussels. But you have to get there early. They were sold out by the time we got there, but we did enjoy some for lunch. Settlement of Conwy began around a Welsh abbey, between the river and the Welsh hills that have been dotted with sheep for millennia. St. Mary's Church contains the only remnants of the abbey left in Conwy. At the end of his conquest of Wales in 1283, King Edward I of England ordered the abbey's monks relocated and the abbey's stones used to help build his new castle and walled town. Conwy Castle and walls were part of Edward's network of fortresses, projecting English power throughout conquered Wales. Though it's the Welsh flag that flies from the castle today. Behind the castle, Conwy's first bridge was built in 1826, replacing the ferry as the primary mode of crossing the river. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the castle and walls are in excellent condition and fun for all ages to climb and explore. Many of Conwy's roofs, old and new, are covered in slate tiles, mined from the Welsh hills for thousands of years. And one section of the walls leads back to the rail station and back to Chester. Liverpool is under an hour by train from Chester. Lime Street Station, at 190 years old, is the world's oldest central railway station that's still in operation. We walked through the city to the Queen Victoria Monument, a meeting point for a walking tour that turned out to be just the two of us. We had few expectations about Liverpool, which started as a port city on the banks of the Mersey River. Its oldest dock, Salthouse Dock, is now used by Canal and other recreational boats, but when it opened in 1753, it was an immediate threat to Chester's much smaller port, and was a driving force behind the creation of the canal through Chester to try and compete. After World War II, Liverpool went through a severe decline, getting a reputation as a rough city. Although this period did produce some local lads who most people have probably heard of. But it shed that image in the 21st century.
Or just the Marks and Spencers will definitely happen.
The docks, especially, are a popular tourist destination and have been transformed with apartments, museums, and restaurants. Halfway through our time in Chester, we moved downstream to another mooring, and we're planning on going farther. Past Chester's walls, and onto the section of the canal that connects to the Mersey River. But the day before we were set to go, a major leak closed the canal past Chester for what would end up being 5 months. Despite being a city, Chester has no canal water points or sewage facilities, so we had to turn around. And we decided to spend the rest of our canal time back at the Tattenhall Marina. So, after 4 weeks, 95 miles, and 39 locks, we spent a night back in a Chester Canalside hotel and continued north to explore northern England and into Scotland. So please, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell, and keep following as we explore more of the United Kingdom.